Hello there folks, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're doing 3 games because I want to talk about Glory Hunter in more ways than just game. There's a conversation that I think needs to happen between me and you, and I think we should have it. So today that's what we're doing. Folks, welcome back to another video on the channel with me, DoctorBenjy FM. Good to see you. I hope I find you well. If you enjoy this chat, of course, leave a like on the video and definitely comment towards the end of it because I'm going to be having a read through because I want to make a more informed decision on what to do with the series. We're in a really interesting spot. I'm going to play through, by the way, while we talk. It's going to be like a stream. If you ever watch me live stream, it's going to be similar to that. We've got Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. We're going to play the first and second legs in that, as well as an FA Cup third round against Forest Green. I obviously want to win that one more than the other two. It's the weird world in which Glory Hunter exists. And some of you might be watching this video thinking, what on earth? What conversation are we having? There'll be some of you that are just enjoying Glory Hunter as it is right now, and this conversation won't feel necessary to you, but it feels necessary to me. So if you don't want to hear all of my thoughts about what happens when I upload videos and create content and how I feel Glory Hunter's going as a concept and as a series and how you're enjoying it and how that affects me making it, then that's fine. This video and the games in it might not be for you. So if you don't want to watch this one, again, that's good. But for those that are still sticking with me, I want to listen to the way that we're going to talk about things. Great. Team-wise for this game, by the way, I'm just looking. We've had a rotation period. Well, I should say we've classically done that thing, haven't we? We lost to Arsenal last time. We're not very good against good teams, it turns out. I'm going to turn my mic down a little bit. Against Arsenal. Villa then 1-1. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's one of these seasons. Lose to the team they're chasing, then draw against Villa, beat Chelsea. We were back, lost to Monaco, beat City. None of it made any sense, really. And then a run of really good results where we've just been dominating the likes of Leeds, Brentford, West Ham, and more recently Palace without conceding goals. So it's been quite straightforward. I would expect the games today to do that. But again, because I'm talking to you, maybe I get distracted. Who knows, viewers? It's a minefield. So Glory Hunter as a series and as a concept, of course, was my series, was my concept. And I was so excited to do it again this year, having had such a successful time, not only having fun with the series. We had some great characters the last time, lots of Shelton and Diego were a big part of that, and I was so excited to do it again this year. And the first sort of season we had, or the seasons we had at Milan, it felt very much like the first Glory Hunter. There was a little bit of a struggle and there was a little bit of a change, but of course one thing I'd never planned for, and I think this is one of the big factors to the whole conversation, really, is going to a team like Bayern Munich and then transitioning from a team like Bayern to a team like Liverpool and being at these top clubs and doing the Glory Hunter Challenge at top teams. The first time around we did this, we were never at any top teams. Of course, I probably went into that series thinking, oh, eventually we'll get to manage Liverpool, or we'll get to be at Barcelona, or we'll get to be at PSG. And none of those things happened. There were always conversations we were having throughout that series, but they never happened. Whereas in this series, they have happened, and they happened quite soon. The fact we did okay with Milan meant that we could go to Bayern and be really successful there. Some success was there. And then comes to Liverpool, and again, find ourselves with a team and a squad that is capable of basically winning everything. And I understand from a viewer perspective that isn't necessarily the most interesting thing to watch, because it's a little bit like rolling up with the best team and just going, well, we're expected to win, we're probably going to win. Oh, look, we've won. Obviously, with Liverpool in the first season, it didn't necessarily happen like that. But I think when we approach teams and games like this, there is kind of the expectation, as Erling Haaland does that things are going to be like a little simpler and not have that same amount of grit and struggle that I think a lot of people who have come to the channel, and you may be one of these, that have enjoyed watching me do throughout the years. And again, I'm super conscious of that. And I'm super conscious of some of the comments that people have been leaving. And of course, some of you will say, but it's the minority. Most of us are enjoying it. Just keep making it. And that's true. But for every negative comment that comes up, there's probably 500 people that have stopped watching right now. So, or maybe more, because again, the views element of YouTube is a conversation that people don't like having, because it's all a little bit front facing and it lets people behind the curtain that sometimes people hide, as you can see. I wish I could hide Lamptey somewhere now. My 2 left backs are injured, and Lamptey's just done that with Alisson. That's hard to do. It's 1-1. I mean, if I was actually full video mode right now, I'd be going ballistic because that's ridiculous. But fortunately, a competition that doesn't in a roundabout way matter. I was going to do games before this, but I played through like Brentford and West Ham and thought I'm just going to win those games and it's not going to be interesting. And then people are going to say, why are we doing these games? But I thought having a 3-game cup run was a good opportunity to just talk to you. So that's kind of what we're doing. I should say this isn't pre-recorded. This is my mouse moving now. So if I'd planned that would have been genius. So we're at a point with the series where I think there is a little bit of there's a bit of a lackadaisical attitude from some people on your end, and I think that's completely my fault. And I'm not blaming you. I just think that's part of the way that YouTube content works sometimes. I quite obviously haven't been as nearly consistent with this series as I said I would be, or hoped I would be, or planned to be on many occasions, and loads of factors come into that, whether it be a streamer showdown weekend, with it being that he's offside, whether it being the simple fact, is he not offside? He looked like he was offside. Whether it be the simple fact that I've got a son now, and in all the other series I've ever done, I've not had a toddler running around the house all the time, and Ellie either wanting me to help or me wanting to be a part of that as well, which obviously a huge part of it. I mean, I want to be as available as possible for my son. It's such a wonderful thing in my life. It's the best thing, right, being a parent with Ellie for Doug. It's amazing. So having as many moments to do that as possible is pretty high on my priority list. And again, showdown weekends that come around, the stream showdown is obviously a massive part of what I'm doing as well on a really regular basis. And sometimes that takes 2 or 3 days of my life completely, or sometimes it takes 10. And obviously my own content, and me and Matt, who is my co-partner in the show, and I've talked about how that affects my YouTube income, as well as it affects my YouTube lifestyle and my YouTube like sustainability and reliability for you that watch. And I don't really know what to do to fix it at the moment. And the vibe I get with Glory Hunter is because of all the factors of the teams that I am and the inconsistencies with the series right now, is that because they've sort of been quite sporadic. Like, I've still uploaded 70 something episodes by the end of February, right? So it's not like I've not been uploading it, but again, I think people expected it daily because that's what I did for so long. It was like, well, this is what we're expecting. Why isn't he doing this thing? Bear with me while we try and fix this half time. I really shouldn't start on attacking. It's a new thing I've been trying, and against teams that are quite good, and Villa appears to be one of those, it's never quite as successful, and it's very frustrating. I'm just thinking what we could do to maybe mix things around. You can see we moved Trent back to right back recently as well. I'm thinking Maguire probably, and Trent can play left back. I assume he can do it a little bit. That works. Lamptey, get him off with his injury. Why not? The rest of the team, I think, is okay. I think just going back to balanced will probably make us a better team, weirdly enough. I don't think we'll rush it nearly as much and we'll be far better, but I guess we'll see. I'll also encourage, because when's that ever not worked? Do you know what I mean? Here we go. Look. So yeah, attempting to do tactical changes, then not lose my train of thought, is going to be a battle today, I think. So yeah, we're at a point where I think maybe altering the way I do Glory Hunter and the series as a whole, and the conversation, like in my brain at the moment, is going to a place of, well, should I take it off YouTube and stream it so that and provide yearly updates, because this is what I would do. So the plan, one of the options for, well, there's a few options, right? One of the options is stop the series completely and never touch it again, because if I can't be consistent with it and I'm not happy with that fact that some of you aren't happy, then maybe I should just like stop it for a bit. And this is just like one of the mental health battles you go through as a creator. Again, I'm fully aware there'll be people going, what? I thought everything was fine. We understand you can't do it all the time. I appreciate you people a lot, but I'm also trying to make as many people as happy as possible. And then that leaves people going, yeah, but you can't please all the people all the time. Yeah, but you try to. And you try and please the most amount of people all the time. So when you see that there was 30,000 people watching the series like 10 episodes ago, and now there's not nearly as many as that, you can't help but wonder, if you opened a restaurant and suddenly half the people stop coming to the restaurant, you'd go, is the food bad? Like, something must be wrong here. So I as the creator of this, have to look at it honestly and decide that format wise, if it was more sporadic in a streaming sense, it might not be as frustrating for people, especially if I can still provide year-on-year updates to how we're doing with trophies. Maybe you do like a January update and a summer update, and a January update and a summer update. So you do 2 updates based upon what I'm streaming here on YouTube, so the people that have followed it on YouTube can continue to do that and also watch it live. The VODs will all be available, things like that. And here on YouTube, we start something fresh, and we give something else a go that I can maybe be I don't know if more invested is the word, because I am very invested in this, but like I don't know, as I'm losing and not making changes, I don't know if this is right for the channel right now. This type of series for me and for you, I don't know. And having the freedom to stream it and be a little looser with it might be the solution. Again, still providing updates, whether they be some stream highlights, maybe it's a combination of stream highlights and an overall look. For those that have watched some of the network game videos, it would be done in a similar format to that. Maybe we would have some highlight moments, as well as me talking through the more serious moments, as well as maybe having cup finals be prevalent on the channel as well. There's still ways we can make Glory Hunter a thing here on YouTube, but right now that seems to be my feeling. What I will say is this season, I won't do that mid-season. Like, if I will do video format for, I mean, Darwin Nunes was in there. I will do video format for these videos. I love that we just can't win when it comes to making videos. This is just so good. I was playing the other day with my friend Harrison, who edits the network videos. And I was going, watch me just win 4 games in a row. And I just streamed them to him and he went, you're really good at Football Manager, aren't you? I went, well, not really. The team's really good though. And I just rolled through them. I do a video with Villa today and get beat 2-1. It's just, and we don't even look like doing well, and it's just bizarre. Anyway, well, these things happen, I guess. We've got our second leg. We'll pull it back. We play Forest Green next, where we can rotate and use a different 11. So that's my thought process of what to do with the series right now, because I got a comment, and the person that left it probably didn't think a great deal of it, but I read it, and maybe there was some truth to it, and that's why it stung a little bit. But it was like, I was used to being lazy with it, and the reality is with Glory Hunter, I'm trying to fit it in whenever I can because of how busy I am. And it's not a case of like me being lazy with it, it's that I'm so busy doing other things that there just isn't enough time in my week at the moment to get it done. And sometimes that means that's because I'm prioritizing streaming, or that's because we're around the showdown weekend. And when you get comments like that, like I won't lie, like it's crushing when people say this isn't good, this isn't what I expected, this isn't what it should be. Like I won't pretend. Like, yeah, I've done this for a long time, and then most of the things you read, and any content creator will tell you that 99% of the things that you read that you don't agree with, you can ignore. But it's that 1% that can like get to you a little bit. And sometimes if you're already having a bit of a down day, and then you read something. I had a late night where I was knackered with showdown stuff, and I came to these videos and I thought I'll just have a flip through the comments, make sure people are all right and everything was okay with the video. And there was 3 or 4 that were just like not that happy. And I thought, if there's 3 or 4 people that aren't happy, that probably explains why people aren't watching in as many numbers as they were. There are other elements to that, I should say, in that if you don't upload regularly on YouTube, having done that for a long time, YouTube go, there must be an issue. We will not push as many videos to his recommended section or to your recommended section. I'm sure you'll have content that you watch. Like I do this all the time. Like I watched drain unblockings recently, or I watch all sorts of random stuff where you watch it for like 2 weeks and then you don't watch it for like 3 days. And then you never see it again. You think nothing of it, and you just go on to the next thing, right? You start watching people do, I don't know, face painting. I don't know, something, maybe not face painting, but you get what I'm saying. Something completely different to the thing you were previously watching, and it almost goes in like yearly cycles. I can't wait for like next February, where I get to watch. I forget the guy's username, but I get to go watch him run around America and just start unblocking drains again. So very excited to catch up on all the things I'll have missed in my recommended section. So yeah, there's a YouTube issue with that. There's a me issue with all of this. I don't think it's like your fault at all. I just think this is the way that content works. I think anyone that's been watching my stream recently, I've been doing a save with Norwich, and people are so into that and are really loving that. And I'm really loving the fact that people are so into it. And we've got a really fun team. We've got an outrageous version of Makoko up front and things like this. And it was going to be a Do It Better series with Norwich, where it was going to be great, and people were going to go, oh, like, yeah, like you've done really well with Norwich there. Why can't they do that in real life? And I thought, yeah, this is going to be good. And then I was enjoying it so much, and it went almost too well that I was like, we should carry this on. And we've got better and better and better. And now we're in year 5 of that. And it's like the 5-year challenge series with Norwich I did last year. Again, we're all over the place there. It was almost like I said to myself, right, we'll just do that. So that series, or that stream series, or stream save, will end, and I'll have a bit of a space. And I'm thinking that Glory Hunter here might go and fill that space. So the timing of it all is kind of working out as well. But I'm curious to hear what you think. I'm curious to see if you think you agree. Ultimately, like, I will make the choice and the decision on that. Like, it'll be my decision to make, and it's not fair to sort of let you decide. And even if you disagree with what I end up doing, I think we have to, as long as we both acknowledge that I'm doing it for what I think is the good of the whole thing, then I kind of think it's fine. But yeah, I like to have this dialogue with you. I had an email recently where people said like people don't discuss their businesses with like their customers in the way that I do, whether it be the showdown or things like this. And that's right, but my content is a community. And so when these things come up that will affect the community, or the lack of videos or the change of format, I want to discuss that with my community that I've built over years at this point. Years and years and years. Some of you have been watching me since I was 25 and messing about and doing intros for every video. And that's another part of this, right? Like someone said something recently. I think I said it on stream actually, so I think I can say it. I was talking to Zealand recently about content, and he said something that really affected me in a way that I did not expect it to. And it was a completely fair comment. And he didn't say it to me. He said it more just about like how we should approach things with the showdown and how we approach things in other ways. They're things we'd already thought about, but it was great to hear him say it and be involved in the conversation. He just said, in all my videos, I try and do like one or two things that are unique. And I sat there and thought, yeah, I used to do that all the time. And it was at a point when like things were growing, and if you watch Salford and Thames and all these other series, you'd be like, yeah, he did. And even like the last Glory Hunter with Shelton and Diego, we had these moments of like uniqueness that were hard to replicate for anyone else. And because of my circumstances, because of me getting older and me not being as willing to do intros and force them down your throat, and basically I never want to do intros that aren't funny. So if I don't think they'll be funny because I'm forcing the humor out, then fair enough. If I make jokes in videos like this and they're not funny, at least know that they're natural and I think they're funny. So I don't mind that quite so much, but doing bits at the start of videos that don't feel real and logical and right is something I don't really want to do. I don't want to get into that mold of just being fake all the time. I'd rather just have, and when I was doing them at the time, like I was excited to do them, the storyline would sort of tell itself, it would carry its way through. And that's not as strong in me now, and probably partially because of other time commitments, or because I've been up late with Doug the night before, or different stresses that go on, or being busy. And I'm not saying like I'll never do intros again, I'll never do bits at the start of videos again. If it feels right, like there's a few saves that I would do on YouTube if I stopped doing Glory Hunter. And the two that stick out to me massively are Sunderland and Derby. And it may well be one of those. Like I just tell you now, it may be one of those, because the story, much like Parma and Salford, is kind of already there, and I can just expand that universe in my own way, which I think could be quite interesting and quite exciting. So currently, those are the two teams I'm thinking. You can see where I'm going with it, like shorter term, English-based teams, things I've done before that I'm familiar with, that will definitely have buckets of struggle for different reasons, or again, buckets of storyline for different reasons. And I think people would agree that I'm at my best as a content creator when I'm dealing with some sort of struggle. And I think you enjoy and find me most entertaining when I'm doing that as well. So I think there's a good blend there. And again, with Glory Hunter, I had no idea that I would get top jobs so quickly, that this would be the case for me, and it would be a bit of a breeze. And I think to give myself a bit more impetus and a bit more excitement with Glory Hunter, streaming it might be the way to go with it. And I say bringing something fresh to the channel alongside some other stuff that I'm hoping to do, but again, I've said this sort of thing before and then not followed through, so it's difficult. But there's obviously new versus modes that I want to get involved with. There's your Glory Hunters that you've sent in to me that I want to do some videos around as well. So there's some things in the pipeline, but again, I really wanted the conversation today, and I know this sort of video then opens me up to like more criticism from some people, and I guess I have to just accept that. I guess the problem is I can't talk about it directly. When I talk about this on stream, someone can write something and I can respond and we can come to like a mutual understanding. That's a lot harder in video form. And I should say I've been like relatively negative in this. The support I get from you lot, whether it be on things like Patreon where you're supporting me financially, or subscribing on Twitch where you're doing the same thing, or simply watching the videos every day, is immense, right? Like the life it's given me is ridiculous. Like I cannot be more thankful for how you've responded to the amount of work I put in, right? Because it's the same thing. Without the work, you're not necessarily here, but without you, it doesn't continue forever. Like I don't just plow as much time into this if I don't see a response from you guys. So I want you to know that I'm not like sitting here sad all the time, like overthinking it all the time. I'm just assessing the situation and trying to make smart decisions that benefit you and me the same, really. And I think, again, I don't know if you'll watch many creators, not that this makes me better than anyone else, but I don't think you'll watch many creators that will have this as this open of a conversation with you about something that's happening midway through the series as part of one of the episodes of the series. But I feel like it's healthy. And Forest Green, by the way, are taking a battering right now. I feel like I've set them up to score as well, as I've just seen them attacking. So that's more terrifying. So yeah, again, hopefully they have scored. It's unbelievable how I managed to do it. It really is. All the time as well. Once a video, it feels like when I say something will happen and then it either happens or the exact opposite happens. And I sit here. Okay, now I'm sad. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this type of conversation and enjoy this type of video. And you get something out of it as much as I do. Because for me, it's like YouTube therapy, being able to say this. I've basically been sitting around in my office for the last 48 hours. Sort of post-showdown, so you've got the post-showdown blues of sort of the hype of that dying down and people realising that I'm not the villain that I play all weekend, really. And then it's a case of deciding, well, do I run from this and not make more videos? I didn't upload yesterday because I just wasn't in the right mental state to go, yeah, let's do it. Whereas today I was like, no, we have to attack this. Like, I have to deal with it. I have to talk about it. And doing is far better than like just doing nothing. So here we are. And again, I feel far happier for it. So good. Yeah, this was healthy. And we're beating Forest Green. Forest Green are getting a battering right now. Everyone's playing quite well. Even Imoble's on the pitch and scoring. So things must be going well. He's in again. Forest Green don't know what's hit them as we're piling forwards. So I always like these types of games in Football Manager because I think, these aren't all season ticket holders. You know, they've turned up for the FA Cup third round. They're having a lovely time, and they've got their day out as well. Forest Green day out and a goal. Oh, could it sound more patronising? But no, it's funny. Like I've got this video will go out sort of around normal time, I hope. But we've got the network game tonight, and at the weekend. Again, bit of a spoiler, but not really. I didn't do so well in the Streamer Showdown. I did okay, but I got knocked out. I didn't win it. Essentially, when you don't win it, there's always a story to tell. And I played the villainous counter hero to Leloujo's continual winning. Basically, I'd basically decided I was going to be the man to knock him out. Took a 3-0 lead and lost in the second leg. So you can imagine how that went. And some people are really interested with me because it's like they assume that I must be this horrible villainous man all the time who is horrible to Kevin. But the reality is I spoke to Kev more in the last year through network games and background stuff than ever before. And my friendship with him is probably stronger than it has been for a long time. So I feel more at ease in saying some of the things I say to him that other people might not quite grasp. But I think my audience on Twitch especially, and maybe you guys watching here as well, do get it more. And it's not like me trying to justify my horrible comments. It's letting people understand really that Kev doesn't find them that horrible because he knows they're coming from a place of like entertainment, not a place of evil. And I think that's sometimes not always clear from creator to creator, especially if you only see like the relationship we have in online videos. Like we don't make videos together all the time and we don't stream together all the time. We certainly have done it more in recent times. But if there was genuine hatred, I wouldn't invite him into every Streamer Showdown, and I wouldn't do a network game with him, and I wouldn't have conversations with him about other content. Like it just wouldn't happen. So yeah, hopefully people realise. But when it comes to a showdown weekend, I want to beat him. I want to be the man to get rid. So yeah, end of the month, we'll see if I get that chance. I already know I won't because of the fact he's going on the lowdown, which is like the analysis show. Finally putting him on there for a change. The big bid for Harvey Elliott from Real Madrid. I guess it's like this, Real Madrid. If you give me 120 million, I'd consider it. I don't think it's worth selling Harvey Elliott, who's a really, really good squad player. We've got a game coming up against Aston Villa, this second leg, as offers have come in through the fridge. I love that as well. I'm such a romantic when it comes to Football Manager. I think he's great and all that, but the idea that he's going to go just back to Holland to end his career, I'm all for. And if he doesn't pick Feyenoord, I'll almost be gutted, viewers. Like, he kind of has to, in my opinion, he's got to go back to Feyenoord. That's the only way this works. Let's rest these boys then. We lost the first leg. So, I don't know, so sort of passively, that I'm hoping the home leg, similar to a showdown, you get a home leg going, everything turns around, will be okay. I could really do with Luke Shaw and Andy Robertson being back fit, because this whole left-back situation is a bit of a crisis at this stage, but they'll only be back, so I wouldn't bring anybody in, because it doesn't really make sense. Stuart Blake, quite a good young player, quite good potential actually, but again, probably not going to make it here at Liverpool. So we'll let him go. In the context of Glory Hunter as a whole thing, right now, again, we top the league by 7 points. We're looking pretty clean as far as that goes. FA Cup's looking pretty good as well, as we've just gone through. 4th round draw coming up momentarily. And then again, we play Villa in a minute as well. So, yeah, hopefully people enjoy. Again, this is a much longer video. It's basically just a live com. It's like an old school YouTube video where you talk the whole time. And how I've managed to do this so far without taking a break or breathing, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm a broadcaster these days. Again, it's just like doing a stream, but without reading a live chat. So I guess it's fine. Tarek Lamptey, now he's out with a virus. Oh my word, this is getting worse. Do I send him home so he doesn't give it to anybody else? I guess if it's a cold, I usually go, just play through it. But a virus, you might as well just go home and get better, mate. Even if it does take you a little bit longer. I don't know what seeing the club... Oh, see a doctor anyway. Whether the club doctor, give him some medicine, but you don't have to send it round. I mean, first class post-delivery. Why is so much less time? I don't know. The virus, will it go that much quicker if it's a virus? Again... This is the most Dr. Benjy I've ever been. Right, let's draw Brighton and move on. That's my prediction. Huddersfield, never mind, we were wrong. There was a great Clips channel video where I basically predicted an entire quarterfinal draw recently. So that was fun. I'm just thinking about other things I could tell you about. Yeah, the Clips channel's good. TikTok, DoctorBenjy FM on TikTok. That's good fun. There's a few little bits on there too. And yeah, streaming most days. Like I'm really loving the streaming at the moment. I don't talk about it that much on YouTube really and tell you that I'm live, but it's twitch.tv/DoctorBenjy. If you want to come along and watch me live playing saves at a slightly different pace, slightly different tempo, but the streams are great fun. Like, they are, the vibe of these videos, or what this video actually is quite like my stream. Again, they're more of a conversation than they are just me reacting to stuff that's happening and making bad tactical decisions. If you don't agree with my tactical decisions in stream saves, you get to tell me live, and then we can work together and play slightly smarter. And I think people that watch the streams tend to think that I'm much better at the game than people on YouTube because of the way that I can talk about it. And again, that more sort of conversational style. Whereas on YouTube, my style has always been to let's get games played and let's win and let's see how we do and let's have a fun time selling that side of the story. It's very much about the win and the loss in YouTube saves, whereas again, it's sort of about the conversation surrounding it all. He's gone to PSV. Do you know how much that winds me up? Oh dear. Something actually around this save which is really interesting. Not only have we made some money there, I think Liverpool, like here at Liverpool, I have the 2 best regens in the save. Like, this is crazy. Alfonso must be like the best regen in the game. He must be. I feel absolutely convinced. And then where is he? Ollie, I think might be the 2nd best. So when I leave Liverpool, I'll be leaving them with 2, and getting them somewhere else is going to be a nightmare now because of how much money they're going to be on and things like this and the contract lengths. It's going to be a nightmare. Liverpool are going to be a force. So if I don't win the Champions League here, this is horrible. Horrible to think about. Team-wise then, let's rotate things back around again. This left back, what is Luke Shaw's injury? I can't even remember. Is it bad? He's got 2 days before he comes back. It's a fractured toe. Oh, I don't want him to hurt it further. But you can see we're already playing Maguire and then Trent at left back, and it's not perfect. Harvey Elliott to come back in, maybe? Do you know what? I'm going to keep Ollie on the bench because he's a bit indifferent sometimes. Fabinho in for Hendo in the centre. Alfonso back in as well as the creative force. In fact, Casado, maybe something like that. Like, Casado's got decent passing and things like that. Playmaker ability is definitely in his locker. Haaland back up front, of course. Harvey Elliott maybe on the right, Diaz on the left. We've talked about this before. I think we should give it another whirl. Why not? And then everything else, I think, is just about right. Yeah, I don't know if you're too familiar with Alan Maguire. He's just like a decent regen right back that isn't very good offensively in the same way that Trent is, and can't play left back at all, but is natural at central midfield. Of course he is. Let's get Henderson on the bench as well. Right, you can see suddenly I'm taking this a bit more seriously. We'll get Upamecano at the back as well. Sometimes I just say his name wrong for seemingly no apparent reason. Right, let's go. It's a bumper episode. Some of the episodes have been a little bit short recently, so hopefully this is what you want to see. Again, a little bit of a longer episode. This isn't really, I don't know, I would describe this as not a proper episode, but I think some people will enjoy this far more than my regular uploads. YouTube's a funny place. I guess it goes back to what I said before. You can't please all the people all of the time. Right, I'm looking at that Villa team that some of which I'll be managing later on in the network save. And hopefully this is going to go well. We're 2-1 down, are we not? So we've got to try and spin this round now. Again, you've seen it all happen live. I think the team for this game is as good as it can really be, considering some of the injuries. I mean, Skriniar could have played instead of Aya, but other than that, I think we're pretty strong. Right, we'll skip through those opening moments. I think me and the home team here is huge. I'm not going to be attacking from the off in this game. I think we're going to be a little bit more considered. Like the mentality for me is basically how quickly you're making things happen, how much your fullbacks are pushing on, things like this. And so I prefer playing on balance, and I think roles and changing if they're playing like support, defending, or attacking duties is a far better way of getting teams playing the way you want to than just changing the mentality all the time. But Caicedo scored nice and early as well. Alfonso with the assist. It's 1-0. This is what we want to see from the lads. And hopefully this just continues. A nice home win. And we just beat Forest Green with consummate ease. You can see this from Alonso. That 20 passing. Oh, eye of the needle stuff. Brilliant ball and a great finish. Right, 17 gone. So far, so good. We're still technically drawing though, aren't we? The game says we're still drawing as it's 2-2. Although we lead, you should not praise at this point. You should only really encourage or demand more, I find, at this stage. As some nice football from us, some really nice football actually. As Harvey Elliott turns on it. There's Caicedo, who so far is involved in everything. Maguire getting forward too. Harvey Elliott into Erling Haaland. There's only one outcome, not this time. Luis Diaz. Oh my, didn't go in. Oh my, I thought it was in the top corner. What an effort from Luis Diaz. That was enough to get me off my seat. That was very exciting. Still half an hour gone and we still are level, and now a corner to Villa out of nowhere. Blimey, John McGinn to play a ball in towards the back post. Douglas Luiz, enough time to bring the ball down. The man on the edge, he's got so much time and so much space off the bar. Blimey, it's both ends. McGinn left foot and it's deflected behind. Again, we'll try and encourage, not only to remove the corner, they've still got the corner, terrifying, but to try and give our team a little bit more, as I say, encouragement. Ball played in, Zakaria heads it over, and then we're fine. Right, end-to-end stuff. Again, getting to the final of this competition is just nice, isn't it? Again, ultimately it doesn't matter, but when you're this far in, you might as well get to the final. And why this is 2 legs, by the way, and not just either played at a neutral venue or just given to like a higher seeded team, as that was a bit risky. And then the calmness we're showing here is a little bit too much, if anything. I don't know. I feel like this doesn't necessarily need to be 2 legs. I guess it's to give 2 teams equal chance of making it to Wembley. I guess that's the argument, isn't it? Whether I believe in it or not. Again, middling neutral venue seems like an okay thing to do. I don't know, where would these 2 play? Manchester, probably, right? Stoke, go play at the Britannia. That's about halfway between. They all work. Right, still 1-0 up, looking good to win the game. But obviously we need another goal. Luis Diaz is on the floor over there, looking at the the EFL. Are these working? The IFL ad board as the ball over the top towards Haaland. You want him to sort of nab in there. Again, we're currently with 10 men. Luis Diaz is still on the floor. I've not been told to take him off. We absolutely should, though, based upon his fitness. But again, he's getting some treatment. So often the treatment will see him go back up a little bit. But I guess we'll see. Again, the highlight falls with Villa right now. He's now stood up. He's no longer on the floor. But the referee, Lee Swarby, has not said he can come back on yet. But you're surely looking at him, Lee. You can see him there. Wave him back on. He has done. Okay, Luis Diaz is back on. Trent has now filled the left wing spot. He's got Akers to run into. Towards Haaland. Oh, should have scored. Should have, could have, would have. All right, Luis Diaz, he's had treatment. He's not necessarily fit, though. We'll go Sadio Mane again. I guess the more natural out there. Harvey Elliott having a pretty poor game. I guess this is Ollie's big moment, isn't it? We'll put him on as a winger attack and let him shine. Maybe this is his moment. You've not really seen the best of him at all. I've seen games where he's been scintillating, and he just hasn't done it in a video yet. But he's got 20 minutes here to prove that he's got it in his locker. Let's see. Trent on that left side, throwing it in to Alfonso. Back to Trent, 2 of the best passes of the ball in our team. Fabinho, Alfonso. There's Ollie. Oh, he's at the back post. He punched it out. Blimey, that was chaos. I don't know why he did it. The press from us, again, decent. Forced away. And it does mean we'll get another chance at this because they are panicked. Fabinho keeping it as well as he possibly can do. Into the feet of my defender. All the way back to Alisson. And this pass out has got to be good. And he's calmly playing it to out to Trent again. He's always going to try and cut in, you'd think. But quickly cycles it onto Mane. Haaland in the middle. He's onside. It's floated in. Ollie's there. He's been pushed. It's such a... 2 things I hate. 1, the animation, and 2, the predictability. And as soon as it happens, you know that it's going to be a penalty. He's not faking that push, is he? So we're going to get a penalty. Haaland's going to take it. I'd bet my house on him scoring. So let's see. Erling Haaland to probably send us through. My house is... I rent this, so it's not even my house. But 2-0 to the good then. And the boys looking good for the final. Turned it around after the first leg. Eventually. I guess that's the key word, right? Eventually. Oh, God, never mind. Matty Cash, my hero in the network save. Playing it into the feet of Samuel. Douglas Luiz into Ollie Watkins. And they're looking good here, Villa. They're not finished yet. Shot goes in. Goodness me. I don't think there's away goals. So right now, we're pretty good for this. We'll go back to a more balanced approach. I also think because of the style in which we play, Ollie can definitely play just like support winger on this side. Whether Mane can do it on the left. No, not nearly as well. So we'll keep him pushed up just a little bit. And Alphonso, we'll just make him like a support central midfielder. So he doesn't have to think about getting forward as much as a Mazzala. He's just there to support Mane and Haaland if required, and defensively it looks like we're going to see this out. We'll praise them. 4 minutes to go. We'll also, I'm really trying now. We'll lower the tempo down and waste a bit of time just to see this out with 4 minutes left. It usually does the trick. There you go, look. How sensible am I? There we are. We go through. Villa had 11 shots, none on target. We go through to the final of the Capital One Cup, or the Carabao Cup, sorry. I saw Liverpool win it when it was the Capital One, so my apologies. And there we are then. Luis Diaz is out for a few days. Not too bad, pulled groin, but at least he's not got a virus. And that's it then. We're through in that competition. But today, as you've probably figured out, was more about the conversation. We will team that cup final with one of the bigger games we've got coming up. Some of which are against Milan in the Champions League. Yeah, my former team, my former flame. You can see there as well. April, Villa, Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, City. That's set to be good fun. Again, hopefully you enjoyed the conversation. It's always tricky to have this chat and know to say the right things, but I think this will go down well. I think you'll have enjoyed this. Again, leave a like if you have done, and if you're still enjoying the series. And if you want to leave a comment and give me your thoughts, again, the feedback is always welcome. That's why the comment section there. If I didn't want it, I wouldn't let you comment. So we love with care. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Maybe live, maybe here. Goodbye.